Well, hello everybody, and welcome. Hail. It's really exciting, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Jesse. If you guys aren't familiar with this page or with this channel, I do a weekly video here, a weekly live video on Facebook, and this is kind of an off schedule. Obviously, this is a Tuesday night, right? Tuesday evening, and the reason we're doing this is I wanted to do something sort of dedicated and special for all of the supporters that I have here in the United States for our 4th of July holiday coming up here tomorrow. So I do see some people checking in. We've got Demetrius who's watching, says, "Hail, what's up, Demetrius? Thanks for checking in and watching." If you are watching this and you see in the title of this video is the link for the YouTube video of this past Sunday's episode of Midgard Musings, where we discussed the Hub Mall. So if you don't mind, check that video out, share it around, and also if you're watching this live stream, go ahead and click that share button. Share this video around and get people to join and watch us, so that way we can get a nice audience, because I have really something special planned. Speaking of the YouTube channel, guys, I just checked today, and we're at 390 subscribers. So we're 10 away from 400, and we're aiming for 500 before Yule. I think if we keep this pace up, we'll be hitting 500 long before Yule. So definitely check out the YouTube channel, which if you just follow that link that's in the title of the video that you're watching right now, it's going to take you right to the page or to the YouTube channel, and then all you have to do is just click that red subscribe button, and you're a subscriber. So maybe before the end of this live stream today, we can get 10 more subscribers just to hit 400 before the end of the day. That would be super, super awesome. So definitely please share this video. Tag your friends down here in the comment section. I see Anthony there, says Skull and sharing it now. Thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate that. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pour a beer. This is not the toasted porter that you're used to seeing here, but it is an Einstock beer. This is the Wee Heavy flavor or brew, I guess you could say. It's a Scottish ale, which is brewed with Angelica root and smoked Icelandic barley. Sounds really interesting. I've never actually had this one before. So while you guys are sharing this video and tagging your friends, I'm going to go ahead and pour this into a very unique cup here. I'm going to tell you something about this cup in just a second. Who else we got here? Billy Hargroves is watching. What's up, Billy? All right, so this mug here, the reason I chose this mug, just going to give you guys a history. Tomorrow, as many people know, is 4th of July. Big holiday here for the United States. It's our nation's birthday. That's what everybody celebrates. It's our nation's birthday. And the reason why I am pouring a beer into this mug is because there is not another mug like this, at least that I know of. Oh, I'm sure there are others like it, but you probably won't find another one just exactly like this, because this is solid metal, and it actually dates back to the First or Second World War. So this cup was in the hands of American soldiers who fought for this nation's freedom during the First or Second, I believe it was the First World War. I believe this cup dates back to the First World War. So to my knowledge, this cup is well over or right around 100 years old, and has probably seen in you know, if this cup could talk, right? If this cup could talk, what types of things would it be able to say? So I'm really excited. We're going to go ahead and pour this beer into this very, very old and very, very special mug. I picked this up at an antique store in New York years and years ago, and I cleaned it up. The antique store was actually being cleaned out because the owners at the time were selling it, and so a lot of the stuff that they had was being sold at next to nothing. So I picked this up. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but I thought it was appropriate to have this cup for this video, since what we're doing tonight is a sort of celebration of the 4th of July weekend. That's starting early, but the 4th of July is tomorrow. So there's that. All right. Wow, that's actually really good. That actually is really good. It's an 8% alcohol beer too, so there's that too. All right, guys. So you're probably wondering now, what exactly are we going to do? What's up, Jonathan Hale, my friend? Thank you so much for chiming in today. A lot of you are probably wondering what exactly we're going to do for the 4th of July here on this channel and on this page. Well, because it's the 4th of July, I thought that I would dwell on 4 specific runes that I felt had significance to the meaning of 4th of July holiday, to our nation's birthday. And so I've picked 4 runes, and I have them laid out here, and we're going to talk about each of these runes. And of course, this is live now in the discussion. Please feel free to comment as we go. Everybody that's going to be watching this on YouTube, please comment down in the comment section, down the comments there. Leave your feedback on what we're talking about today. So, just again, hail and skull to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on a Tuesday or Tears Day evening as we celebrate the early eve, I guess, of 4th of July. All right, so the first rune that I wanted us to think about is actually Tears rune, Tiwaz. All right, and the reason why I wanted to dwell on Tiwaz, not just because it's Tears Day, but means specifically for the 4th of July holiday, is because Tiwaz is the rune of victory. It's a rune of the warrior. It teaches us justice and self-sacrifice. Excuse me. All these things that through tears, the way he is, the way he's known as a god. These are qualities, and these are things that are given during wartime and during times of conflict, and things that require, there's sacrifice required for the good of a nation, right? When it's a time of war, there's obviously it's warriors, of course, and there's sacrifice and then justice. There's equality. There's 2 sides vying for something, and there's a balance that's sought, during wartime. So I felt that Tiwaz was a very appropriate, rune to think about as we come upon the birthday of our nation, when a war was fought to get our freedom and be our own independent nation. The next rune that I want to think about and want everybody else to think about too is Iwaz. That's what Iwaz looks like. Some of you may remember me talking about this rune during Midsummer a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, because Iwaz is a rune that's oftentimes associated with Balder. Reason for that is because it's a rune of rebirth, right? And it's a rune of life and death. It represents, strength. I'm looking at some notes over here because I didn't want all this stuff committed to memory. And doing the right thing at the right time. Probably the best, aside from Tyr, sacrificing his hand, sacrificing his hand to Fenrir for the good of the gods and for the good of the situation. Probably the other best scenario of self-sacrifice that we can come across as Norse pagans is to think of Balder. And not in the sense that he gave himself up for anything, but it was the fact that his sacrifice, was very meaningful in our lore. Again, it's something that, the strength and rebirth. Okay, so the reason why I chose Iwaz specifically on the rebirth side of things is that this nation was created out of conflict, of course, and a new nation came. Right, we kind of came over here and wanted something that we didn't have, our ancestors didn't have, came over here, and out of that came a new nation. So there was something that was born, or reborn, if you will, from so much destruction. War is not something that's glamorous, I don't think, but it's part of every nation's history. So Iwaz. Tiwas and Iwas, the first two. The third rune is Urus. Okay, Urus is the ox, right? Wild ox. It means strength and force. Also has a lot of times, anytime you see Urus in a drawing or a casting of any sorts, Urus is a representation of some sort of a beginning as well. What did I also write here? Protective forces. It's a rune that's often associated with Thor, because the ox is something sacred, or at least has been in sense in something that's often associated with the thunder god. So Urus, it's also a representation of the old gods, the Vanir gods. So there's force and there's protective forces in times of war, not just defensive or offensive, but defensive. So it's something that we're seeing kind of a theme here. There's beginnings, and there's war, and there's conflict, and there's force, but there's strength, and there's new beginnings out of all this. Who else is in here? We got Sean here that says, "Hails, what's up, Sean? Thank you so much for commenting and joining the discussion so far, Sean. If you missed it, we're discussing the 4th of July holiday that's coming up. Anybody that's just tuning in and watching on the live feed now, we're drawing 4 runes for the 4th of July. The first 3 runes have been Tiwas, Iwas, and Urus. We just got done talking about Urus and the significance of that, and why I feel like these are good runes to dwell on. Now, of course, anybody else that wants to think of any other 4 runes or any other things, feel free to chime in. Let me know, because I'm open to hear what everybody else thinks about during this time of year, and what kind of meanings that the runes have for what we're celebrating, what we're honoring. All right, so the 4th and final rune that I decided to draw as closely as Urus, I felt like it was very important to include Urusas, all right, which is the thorn, and it's most closely associated with Thor, all right? It's where we get Thurs, one of Thor's names. Is, from that, it's Thor's Day, right? And the thorn is chaos. The thorn is transformation. It's defense, conflict. But a lot of what we get in destruction, as in from nature, things that don't destroy completely, but that in their destruction there's rebirth, or it's like when a storm comes through and wipes something out. Yeah, there's a lot of destruction, but then what comes out of that destruction is a new sense of life. So obviously, it's we're approaching a date in history that is celebrated as our nation's birth. So I felt like the runes that represent birth or rebirth were important. But it's a holiday, or it's a time of year where we reflect on the sacrifices that were made by our ancestors who fought here. Ancestors such as ones who carried a cup like this during the First World War, which, even though it wasn't a war that shaped our nation's birth, it was and will always be a war that has a very prominent place in our nation's history. So a lot of people are going to be commemorating and honoring their ancestors who fought in previous wars, that fought for our freedom, because that's what this holiday is about. It's about our freedom as a nation, and the sacrifices that were made for that freedom. Yeah, Sean. Sorry, so as I was just reading, so Sean just says he wants to get a little bit of explanation for the first 3 runes, which I'll be happy to do, just kind of crash course. So the first one was Tiwas, and that's going to be the sacrifice and justice and warrior spirit, which is carried in Tyr. The sacrifices that he made by giving this hand to Fenrir for the good of the gods. There's Iwas, which is the rune of beginnings and rebirth and transformation. life and death, which is oftentimes associated with Balder. Urus, which is another rune that's associated with the Vanir or Thor, represents, protective forces and chaos and things that are, sort of a new beginning as well, but opposition and defense. And then Thorusas, which I believe you just came in on the discussion. So feel free to go back in the video. This is live right now on Facebook, but you guys are going to be watching this on YouTube later too. So there's going to be people that are watching this for the first time on YouTube. Please check the description of the video on YouTube for links to join me on Facebook Live. Anytime that I go live, I always announce it ahead of time, so you can always make plans if you're able to join me on these live streams. But so anyways, guys, that has been this video for today. Again, please take a chance. In the title of this video that you're watching on YouTube, or excuse me, on Facebook, is the link to Sunday's episode of Midgard Musings. If you haven't checked it out already, definitely would really appreciate it if you did so. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, drop a little click on that subscribe button and become a subscriber, because we are nearly to 400 subscribers. Like I said, when I started this video, we had 390 subscribers. Hopefully by the end of tonight, we'll have some more people that have become subscribers to the channel, and maybe we can hit the 400. I'm seeing a bunch of people that are watching this right now. If all you would just please maybe share this live video, tag some people down here in the comments if you want. Get some people to join Midgard Musings on Facebook and on YouTube. We're getting really, really close. I want to get to 500 subscribers by Yule, and I think that we can totally get to that well before then, because we've already gotten like probably almost 30, if not more, subscribers just in the last week or so. So anyways, guys, that's going to wrap this live video up. Please check out the YouTube channel. Like I said, I really appreciate everyone's support. And I really appreciate everybody taking the time and joining me tonight for the last 20 minutes or whatever it's been. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope that these runes that I picked, and specifically for the 4th of July holiday, give us something to think about as we celebrate with our friends and our family, and as we have our time off from work, and as we're enjoying our food and our drinks. Just remember that all of that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the sacrifice, if it wasn't for the seeking of balance and something that they felt that they deserved. If there wasn't force that was used, and if there wasn't oppositions that were met and conquered, if there wasn't that destructive force that wiped things out to create space for the new, if it wasn't any of those things that we just talked about in these rooms, we wouldn't be here to enjoy these amenities. So honor your ancestors, everyone, as you celebrate the 4th of July holiday. Honor your ancestors, honor the fallen, honor those who came before us, that gave of themselves and everything that they had, so that we can now have what we have. I appreciate you all joining me today and tonight. Please tune in Sunday at 3 p.m. Central for the next live discussion of Havamal, for the next 9 stanza discussion. We're wrapping up. The Havamal will probably be done in the next, I would say, less than a month or so from now, probably just 3 or 4 more videos to go for that. And then we have a lot more cool things coming, because this channel isn't over with just the Havamal. We have a lot more stuff. I don't want to announce it just yet, but I do have a lot of ideas going on up in this crazy brain of mine that I definitely want all of you to be a part of. So please subscribe to the channel. Please like and follow the page on Facebook. Thank you again all so much for joining. I'm going to check back with all of you in the comment section here. So please leave your comments. I'll respond to them all as best I can. I appreciate all your support. Hail. We'll talk to you all soon.